I hit 50 and realized I didn't know who I was anymore. I'd done everything right, followed the rules, worked hard, but I felt invisible. Then one sentence from a book flipped my entire worldview. Not by teaching me how to change, but by reminding me I could actually choose. A few years ago, during a deep dive inside the Elite Mentorship Forum, someone mentioned this odd book called Reality Transurfing by Vadim Zeland. I'll be honest, I didn't give it much credit. The name sounded out there, the concepts even stranger. And back then, I was still in that mode of trying to fix myself through doing more and pushing harder. But something about the way that person spoke, so clear, so grounded, stuck with me. They weren't hyped, they were certain. So I wrote it down, put it on the shelf, literally and mentally. Months later, when life threw me into another one of those quiet storms where nothing's technically wrong, but everything feels off, I found it again. This time I opened it. And in just a few pages, I knew this wasn't about fixing. This wasn't about becoming someone else. It was about remembering who I already was and how I'd unknowingly given up my power to choose. There was one line that stopped me cold. You don't have to create or attract your future. It already exists in a parallel reality. Learn how to choose it. I must have read that 10 times. Because for someone who's been grinding for decades, always trying to earn their worth, the idea that my future self didn't need to be built or manifested, but simply chosen, that broke something open in me. I didn't fully understand it yet, but something deeper did. The moment that line landed with me, I felt it. My shoulders dropped, my breath got deeper. There was a space inside me that I hadn't touched in years. I wasn't being asked to do more or learn more. I was being invited to remember something I'd forgotten. That the version of me I kept striving to become, he already exists. And the pain I'd been feeling wasn't because I was broken. It was because I'd been living on a lifeline that didn't match who I really was. Reality Transurfing didn't show me how to build a new self. It showed me how to shift into a life where that self is already alive and well. That realization, that's the shift. It's subtle, but it's everything. Now, I know the name sounds a bit strange, transurfing, but strip away the language, and here's what it really is. Reality transurfing is a model for how reality works. Not just outside you, but inside. It says this: you don't have to create or manifest your ideal life. That version of life already exists in what's called the alternative space. Think of it like a field of infinite parallel realities. Each one is a version of your life with different choices, different emotions, and different outcomes. It's not just theory. Think of it like Matrix the movie. The world you see isn't all there is. Behind it is a system of possibility. Infinite versions of reality you can plug into based on how you think, feel, and choose. Most of us are stuck reacting to life, not realizing we're actually selecting a lifeline with every thought, mood, and belief. Transurfing teaches you how to shift lifeline, not by working harder, fixing yourself, or meditating in a cave, but by becoming aware of where your attention, energy, and identity are locked in, and then choosing differently. That's it. It's not magical. It's not wishful thinking. It's a practical way to realign with the version of life where you feel free, connected, and alive again. And the best part? You don't have to become someone new to live that life. You just have to stop fighting and start choosing the alternative space. everything that could possibly happen, every version of your life, every outcome of a choice already exists in a field of potential. Zeland calls this the alternatives space. You don't create reality, you select it. And that selection happens through your state of being, your attention, your mood, your beliefs. Like tuning a radio, you don't create the station, you just tune in. Pendulums. A pendulum is anything, a system, a belief, a cause that feeds off your emotional energy. The news, politics, your job, even your identity and social media. When you give your energy to it, even in resistance, you're feeding it. Pendulums don't care if you love or hate them. They just want your energy. Transurfing taught me how much my life was shaped by pendulums and how much peace came when I stopped feeding them. That's when I felt something new. Space. Space to choose, space to shift, space to return to the life I didn't know I could still have. If you're over 40, you've likely spent decades carrying weight, responsibility, pressure, expectations, and maybe you've built a good life on the outside, but inside, something is still missing. You might not know what it is, you just know this isn't it. Reality Transurfing doesn't ask you to blow up your life. It invites you to reconnect with your inner self, the power to choose again, because power isn't control, it's clarity. And choice is how you reclaim it. If you've studied EMF, you know it's all about identity, who you really are, who you've always been. Reality Transurfing gave me the mechanics for that identity to come alive. EMF says this is your true self. Reality Transurfing says, here's how to step into life where that self already exists. Together they form a bridge from knowing to living. Over the next few weeks, I'm launching a free 3-part beginner series on Reality Transurfing, made specifically for those of us 40 and over. For anyone who's done chasing, done pretending, and ready to take back the quiet power of choosing again. Each video will walk through one core idea, not just what it means, but how to live it. Part 1, choose, understanding the alternative space. Part 2, pendulums, how to stop feeding what drains you. Part 3, wave of fortune, how to catch momentum and flow into the version of life that wants you. No fluff, no hype, no rebranding of the same old mindset advice, just something real, grounded, and deeply useful. If you've ever felt like something important was missing and you couldn't name what, this series is for you. If this spoke to you, if you feel like something important is just out of reach and you're ready to name it, subscribe to the channel. The free series is coming soon. Check the first comment below for the latest updates. But more than that, we're building a grounded community of people who are awake, clear, and ready. Not someday, now. Thanks for being here, and go choose the life of your dreams.